Picture this, 12 songs that crashed the mainstream once and never needed a second chance. One ruled America for 14 straight weeks. One never even hit the Hot 100 but owned U.S. radio. Another turned a cheer chant into a number one. And a whisper-soft love song kept the country frozen at number 2 for 9 weeks. These aren't novelty tracks, they're perfect storms, arrivals so big they made careers unnecessary. Today, we're counting down the pop one-hit wonders you need to hear, the pub chant that won't leave your head, the Scottish stomp that became every wedding's victory lap, the minimalist breakup that defined a decade. If you love hooks, stories, and the weird ways songs become forever, you're in the right place. Stick around to the end. I'll drop a sleeper recommendation and a playlist link. Let's start at 12. If you are alive in the early MTV era or you've fallen down a YouTube rabbit hole since, Mickey is the cheer that never leaves your head. But behind the chant is a razor-sharp pop brain. Toni Basil wasn't a teen idol. She was a veteran dancer and choreographer who had worked with Bowie and Devo. That's why the record feels so tightly drilled. Precision claps, a drum stomp that hits like a pep rally floor, and a vocal that flips from cute to commanding in a blink. Mickey works because it takes a simple idea, rah-rah affection, and gives it the weight of a stadium. Even the spaces between the hits are choreographed. You can almost see the routines in your mind while you listen. People call it bubblegum, but bubblegum rarely has this much muscle memory. It's a 2-minute, 45-second lesson in how arrangement can turn a chant into a culture moment. And the secret sauce, it never winks. It believes in its own fun, and that sincerity makes it timeless. A Jewish kid from Massachusetts writes a fuzzed-out gospel rocker about meeting Jesus. On paper, that sounds like a novelty. On record, it's a spiritual thunderclap. Spirit in the Sky is one riff, one stomp, and a choir that feels like it's echoing off canyon walls. The genius is how primitive it is. No fancy chord changes, just a gnarly guitar tone that growls like a hot amp, a kick snare march you could learn in a minute, and a lyric that keeps it simple. Life ends, hope begins, see you in the sky. It's the rare pop song that makes even skeptical listeners feel lifted. There's a frontier quality to it, like rock and roll campfire music. You can hear its fingerprints across decades of roots rock and Americana in every bar band that leans on a big riff and a bigger refrain. Green Bomb never chased a sequel, which might be the most rock and roll move of all. He left us one perfect sermon with a distortion pedal and walked off into legend. It's hard to explain why two voices in thick Scottish harmony shouting about walking a ridiculous distance feels so emotional until you sing it with a room full of strangers. Then you get it. Who's working hard for you? Money comes in for the work hard. 500 Miles is devotion turned into a drinking song, a wedding song, an end credit song, proof that sincerity wins when you give it a melody people can own. The Proclaimer's power isn't polish, it's pulse. 500 miles and I would walk 500 more. The acoustic strum is a locomotive, the hand claps are the tracks, and the voices, unfussy, honest, are the engine. What sells the hook isn't just the da-da-da refrain, it's the promise built into the lyric. I will show up no matter what, again and again. That vow, delivered with bright, bouncing chords, makes this track a ritual as much as a hit. The magic trick is longevity. Every time it comes back in a film or a stadium, a new generation claims it like it was written yesterday. That's not nostalgia, it's renewal. A one-album band drops a single that sounds like the last great pep talk of the 20th century, then disappears. That's myth-making. You Get What You Give is all uplift and side-eye, piano punching out eighth notes, guitars wide open, a bass line that bounces like hope with sneakers on. Greg Alexander sings like a street preacher who stole a boombox, half encouragement, half dare. The verses sketch late 90s mall life with a poet's eye. Then the chorus explodes into a life rule that's simple enough to tattoo. Keep pushing, because the energy you send comes back. Pop rarely gets to be this earnest and this cool at the same time. The production is deliberately roomy, giving every hand clap and harmony space to glow. And when the bridge starts calling out the industry, it feels less like gossip and more like a promise that real things still matter. The band quit while ahead, which froze the song in amber. It's not just a hit, it's a mission statement you can blast from your car with the windows down. A song built like a pub on a Friday night, loud, messy, warm, and impossible to ignore. The verses speak in plain-spoken snapshots of working-class life. The chorus blasts in like a crowd, linking arms, shouting the same line until it becomes a promise. You get knocked down, you get back up again. Underneath the chant is a clever blend of rock drums, brass stabs, and a bounce that feels like soccer terraces meeting dance floor. I get knocked down, but I get up again. They came from a scrappy political scene, but here they bottled resilience in the simplest words possible. That's why it stuck. It wasn't just a hook, it was a habit. The more life hits, the more you want to sing it back. Yes, I tried. Your love, silken swagger. From the first few bars, you hear a groove that walks into the room like it owns the place. Lean bass, crisp drums, glassy keys, and that sly, we're back attitude. Morrison's vocal is half confessional, half victory lap. He's hurt, but he refuses to sound small. The melody rises and dips like a shrug at bad luck. So I'm back up in the days, running things to take my swing. What makes it so replayable is the balance. Bittersweet lyrics floating over a party-ready beat. It's revenge you can dance to. She said she'd never turn on me. The record lives in that late 90s pocket where R&B, pop, and club culture met on the radio, and it still feels brand new when the hook glides in. One song, one crown, permanently fitted. A convertible with the top down and a trumpet in the passenger seat. How bizarre. Doesn't try to be anybody else. It's a sing-speak travelogue with snapshots, backseat friends, ticket-happy cops, a little confusion, a lot of charm. The guitar is light, the percussion is sunny, and that trumpet lick is the wink that keeps you smiling. Pauly Fuemana sells the story with a cool conversational delivery that invites you along for the ride, never rushing the rhyme. It sounded like nothing else on US pop radio at the time. Polynesian cool filtered through mid-90s global pop. The secret is patience, space between the beats, space in the voice, so the chorus lands like a knowing grin. How bizarre. A whole relationship built on a single overlap. We both like that movie. That's the hook and the joke. Two people clinging to one shared detail while everything else falls apart. I think we both kinda liked it, and I said, well, that's The guitars jangle open and bright, drums keep a steady, radio-friendly trot, and the melody sits exactly where you can sing it with friends in a car. It's the mixtape era in one track. Cinema name drop, diary page honesty, and a chorus you can belt without thinking.
Now it's plain to see we're over.
The reason it lasts is its everyday truth. Most breakups aren't explosions. They're conversations that keep circling the same small islands, hoping those islands are enough.
I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany? She said,
Here, the island is Audrey Hepburn. For 3 minutes, it almost saves them, and it absolutely saves the song. You hear the first few seconds, soft synth pad, heartbeat kick, and your shoulders drop. Donna Lewis doesn't belt, she floats. In 1996, when radio chased bigger and louder, she carved a lane with breathy intimacy, a melody that circles back on itself like a lullaby you can dance to. The lyrics aren't complicated, they don't need to be. I love you always forever is the point. Simple, universal, said with a kind of hush that makes you lean closer. That restraint is the magic. She builds tension by not exploding. No towering key change, no gospel choir, just a steady glow that never flickers. Why it stuck, structure and texture, the verse and chorus feel like one continuous ribbon wrapped around a tight drum machine pulse and shimmering guitar delay. It's the kind of record that seems light until you notice it never leaves your head. It was also a quiet revolution for late 90s pop radio, proof that intimacy could compete with bombast. You could trace a line from this to the whisper pop of the 2000s and the bedroom pop playlists of today.
I will be with you, everything I will do for you, you've got.
If you skipped this because you thought it was soft, hit play with good headphones. You'll hear the layers, glassy keys, a bass that nudges rather than thumps, and that vocal straight down the center, close enough to feel the breath between words.
Chat with me, and if you're good, I'll take you home with me.
It is easy to remember a dance and forget the song, but Macarena is built like a pop engine, playful chant, call and response vocals, a tempo that says move now, and a synth hook that repeats with the insistence of a nursery rhyme. The original rumba flamenco idea predates the remix, the Bayside Boys version grafted English verses and club-ready production onto a Spanish party record and turned it into a global ritual.
Now don't you worry about my boyfriend, the boy whose name is Vitorino.
That's the story here. Translation, transformation, and timing. The 90s loved communal moments, stadium waves, crowd sing-alongs, synchronized dances at weddings. Macarena wasn't just a hit, it was a social technology. It gave a room, any room, a single instruction set. Behind the novelty tag, there's a serious lesson in arrangement. Listen to how the track staggers elements. Hand claps enter like confetti. The beat drops out just long enough to reset the crowd, and the hook returns every few bars to keep the energy looped. The producers understood the psychology of a dance floor, predictability with tiny surprises. And because the melody is frictionless, it crosses age and language. Kids get it, grandparents get it, DJs get it because it resets a room. Some songs are scenes. Come On Eileen is a street party, mud on boots, sweat on brows, denim and suspenders and violins sawing like they've got someplace to be. Dexys fused Celtic folk energy with blue-eyed soul grit, then lit a fuse under it. The rhythm skips rather than stomps, and Kevin Rowland sings like a man trying to talk himself into bravery. That's the narrative. A kid on a curb, begging the night to be bigger. When the tempo swings upward and the chord lift hits, it feels like the camera rises above the rooftops. Under the rush is clever design. The bass line walks with purpose. The drums give you that off-kilter push. The fiddle is both lead guitar and hype man. And then there's that key change, telegraphed but still thrilling because the band waits until the exact point of emotional need. It's as if the arrangement says, "Okay, now we run." That's why the final choruses feel earned. Silence, then a dry xylophone figure, a bare drum, a voice recorded so close it feels like confession. Now and then I think of when we were together. The genius is what's not there. Most pop tries to fill space. Gotye carves it out. Each sound is chosen like a brush stroke in a pointillist painting, acoustic samples, clipped guitar, the ghost of a synth. You lean in because the arrangement refuses to shout, and then the story widens. Kimbra enters not as the girlfriend in a mirror, but as the counter-narrator correcting the record. It turns a breakup into a debate and the chorus into testimony. Structurally, it's almost old school. Verses that build, a chorus that lands with a larger interval leap. That high used to new. A middle section that reframes the whole thing. But the production is 21st century minimalism, bedroom studio detail, careful reverb, percussion that taps rather than slams. It makes the rawness feel clinical, like a museum display of a heart in two pieces. That contrast, emotion versus restraint, creates the ache. If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.